Hey everyone, welcome to my channel Quick Curious with Dia. I'm Dia Sen, and here we talk about the surprising science, history, and ideas hiding in everyday life. Today, we are tackling a belief you have probably heard 100 times, maybe in a movie, maybe in a motivational speech, maybe even in school. People love to say we only use 10% of our brain. Sound mysterious, right? Almost like we are walking around with 90% of our brain locked away, waiting to be unlocked like a superpower. But here's the thing, it's not true at all. And the real story of how this myth started, why it refuses to die, and what's actually happening inside your head is way cooler than the myth itself. Let's dive in. So let's start with the claim. You only use 10% of your brain. It suggests that out of this entire 3 pound organ sitting inside your skull, 90% of it is just wasted space. Silent, doing nothing, like an empty warehouse with just a few workers running around inside. It's a neat idea, because it implies there's some hidden genius locked inside you, untapped creativity, memory, intelligence, and if you could just figure out how to access it, you would become limitless. And that idea has been everywhere. Movies like Lucy or Limitless are literally built around it. Self-help speakers love it because it makes audiences feel like they are just one secret away from becoming the smartest version of themselves. And let's be honest, it sounds inspiring. Who doesn't want to believe they got a hidden Einstein sitting in their head waiting to be unlocked? But the truth, neuroscience has completely debunked this. The idea that 90% of your brain is unused is simply a myth. So, what's really happening in the brain? First off, let's talk brain scans. Modern neuroscience has tools like functional MRI, fMRI for short, that let us watch activity in the brain in real time. When you think, move, imagine, or even rest, your brain lights up. And guess what? Even very simple tasks use way more 10% of your brain. Take something as basic as wiggling your finger. That's not just one tiny part of your brain firing, multiple areas are involved: motor cortex for movement, sensory areas for feedback, coordination areas, even regions handling blood flow and balance. Just one little action is enough to recruit networks spread across your brain. Even when you're sleeping, your brain is buzzing. It's processing memories, regulating your heartbeat and breathing, cleaning out toxins, and even simulating dreams. There's no point in your day when 90% of your brain is just sitting there like a dark, abandoned neighborhood. In fact, studies show that all parts of the brain have a function. Some parts manage vision, others hearing, touch, balance, emotions, memory, and countless subconscious processes you don't even notice. Okay, so if the science is clear, where did this myth even come from? Historians trace it back to the late 1800s and early 1900s. Psychologist William James once wrote something like, "We are making use of only a small part of our possible mental and physical resources." Now, he didn't mean literally 10% of the brain's tissue. He was talking about potential. Like, people often don't push themselves to the limits of what they're capable of. But as his ideas spread, people started twisting it. Over time, it got boiled down into this catchy, misleading phrase: we only use 10% of our brain. Then, in the 20th century, writers and lecturers picked it up because it sounded exciting. It made audiences lean forward. It made people feel like there was a hidden treasure chest inside their skull. And once Hollywood got hold of it, well, the myth went viral long before we had the word viral. It survives today simply because it's memorable and it's hopeful. Who doesn't want to believe there's secretly a genius who just hasn't found the key yet? Now, here's the fun part. The truth is actually way cooler than the myth. You don't need to unlock 90% of your brain. You're already using 100% of it. Just not all at the same time. Different areas switch on for different tasks. So instead of thinking, I only use 10% of my brain, flip it. You're actually running a highly efficient, complex machine that's constantly active, constantly adapting, and always learning. That's way more impressive than some hidden warehouse of brain cells gathering dust. Now, here's the twist. While the 10% myth is wrong, the spirit behind it, the idea that we can do more with our brains, actually has some truth. You might not have unused brain tissue, but you do have unused possibilities. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and rewire itself, means that every time you learn a skill, practice something new, or challenge yourself, your brain literally reshapes. So, you can't unlock a hidden 90%, but you can build new connections, strengthen old ones, and expand what you are capable of. Want to get better at memory? Train it. Want to be more creative? Expose yourself to new ideas and experiences. Want to stay sharp? Sleep well, eat well, and keep learning. That's the real superpower your brain gives you. So, do we only use 10% of our brain? Absolutely not. That's a myth. And the truth is better. We use all of our brain just in different ways at different times, and the real secret isn't unlocking unused parts, it's building on the amazing system we already have. That's it for today's video. Thanks for hanging out. If you have learned something new, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more everyday mysteries explained simply.